gonna paint a little spooky scene. We're gonna have a nice purple sky with a nice bright yellow moon, and then a creepy tree, and then maybe some jack-o'-lanterns on the bottom and some bats in the sky. So what you guys should have in your kit, you have white, black, yellow, and purple paint, and then you have a toothbrush. That's for something later, so we can put that aside, and then a big and a little brush. And in addition to the kit, you're gonna need some water and a paper towel. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna paint our sky. So we're gonna take our big brush, and in the upper right of your painting, you're just gonna make a nice big circle. And if it doesn't look like a perfect circle right now, that is okay. And what we're gonna do, that's gonna eventually become our moon, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna start filling in our background. And our background is gonna be purple. And as we paint the purple, if you could see, like, the purple doesn't cover the canvas very well. It needs white to cover the canvas. So start mixing some white. And as you paint, I'm painting by like going around the moon. So there's like a curved, like there's movement in my sky then. So I'm just gonna paint the whole sky purple, and as I'm painting it purple, I'm just adding that white into it. Alright, so once I finish my sky, I'm going to wash and dry my brush. Make sure you get it all nice and clean, because what we're just going to do is we're going to soften up this line a little bit where our sky meets our moon. I'm just going to put some white into it, just so when we put yellow into it a little bit later, you just won't see that harsh tones. And I'm just keep on washing my brush as it gets a little purple, because I'm kind of going into my purple sky as we do. All right, so for our next step, we are going to add some stars in our sky. So to make the stars, it's really simple. We're gonna use a toothbrush. And I have a method for doing this. Basically, I dip in water, tap 2 times, dip just like the top of it, a little bit of paint in the white, dip in water and tap a couple times. Basically, I'm just trying to get like any excess moisture off the toothbrush. And then I'm gonna hold my toothbrush out, bristles facing the painting. And I'm just gonna take my finger either from this or this side. I'm just gonna splatter some stars just on the top, I think, or maybe everywhere. If you need to do it again, just make sure you dip in water and dip in the All right, so I have some stars. So after we have some stars, we're gonna let this dry for a few minutes. While it's drying, clean your brushes. And if you wanna get new water, go for it. All right, we are back. And what we're gonna do next is we're going to paint our moon. So your purple needs to be pretty much dry. And we are going to paint our moon yellow. So I'm gonna put a little yellow, and I'm also gonna put a little white into it as I paint it. Because white really helps the yellow cover the canvas. could even take a little white on your finger, and if you want to give the moon a little texture, you could dab a little white on there. And next thing, what I'm going to do, it's going to be a little crazy. So purple and yellow are complementary colors, so they look good together. So, and they also, if you want to darken yellow, you should really add a little purple to it to really darken it. So what I am going to do is on my cap, I'm going to find a lid to one of my paints. I am going to take a little yellow and mix a tiny bit of purple into it. I'm going to keep on mixing purple until I get this almost like golden brown color. And then what I'm going to do with that color is I'm just going to put it on the left side of my moon. Just give the moon a little shadow. I'm going to make a little more and make it a little darker, I think. That's a good tip of how to make colors darker. Technically, you shouldn't add black to colors. You should always add the complement. So if you want to make red darker, you can add a little green. Eventually, if you put enough of both colors, you'll get brown, but that's okay. All right, so I have that golden on my moon. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to work on our creepy tree. So we're just going to use black. So to make a creepy tree, before we do anything, we're going to draw like a nice little bumpy line on the bottom. And everything below it is going to be black. Mine almost looks like a mountain range, so I'm going to go in and add a little more bumps to it so it just looks like it's rock and dirt. All right, so I have my black ground, and now we're going to start with our tree. So to make our tree, I'm going to put I'm going to put it more towards my left side of my canvas, and I'm going to put a single line going up. That's going to be the trunk of our tree. Next, I'm going to take a little paint off my brush, and I am going to make the branches. So I'm going to start by making just a little, I'm going to turn that one line into the letter Y. And then what I'm going to start doing is making that trunk. So I'm just going to go back and start making the trunk of the tree. Again, I want it to be kind of bumpy, so I'm shaking my hand as I do it. Should look like a gnarly tree. Then when I get to my branches, I'm going to kind of stop. I'm going to make the roots really big. And it's all right if you get a little, so my purple isn't completely dry. It's all right if you get a little purple in there. All right, so now I'm going to put that bigger brush away, and I'm going to work with my little brush because I want my branches to be delicate yet scary. All right, so the key to doing the branches is a little paint on your brush goes a long way. So I'm going to work on this one arm of the Y, and I'm actually going to turn that into another Y. And then what I'm going to keep on doing, and I bring all lines when I extend it to like a point. I'm just going to keep on adding branches off that Y. and even off. I'm going to put some more smaller ones in here. And branches always grow up, so you don't want any that are facing down. I'm going to put a little branch coming off of my trunk over here. And then I'm going to keep on going and just start adding more branches. If you put branches crossing over each other too, it just gives it more realistic. How a branch would actually look. I'm just going to go in and add a little ones. Alrighty, so I think I am good with my tree right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my little brush and I'm going to work on a little jack-o'-lantern. My moon is still, actually I could work on a bat because my moon is pretty dry. So I'm going to make a bat like kind of flying over my moon. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my canvas over here so you can see a little better. I'm going to use my small brush and a teeny amount of paint. And what I'm going to do to make a bat first is I make a U. I'm just doing it really lightly to get like a basic outline. So I make a U. That's going to be my body. So now I'm going to make some wings. To make wings, I'm going to put like rainbows coming off of that U that I closed up on top. And then I'm just going to connect the rainbow, the end of the rainbow, to the body with little rainbows. And then if you think your yellow is dry enough, you could start filling it in. And it's just a silhouette, so it's just a black silhouette of a bat. All right, so we have our silhouette of our bat. Next, we could do a little jack-o'-lantern. So on the bottom, towards the base of the tree, I'm just gonna make a nice oval. I'm gonna make it kind of big. Make it easier for us. So then in that oval, I am going to draw eyes. So I'm gonna draw some triangle eyes. And I'm drawing them pretty big. Triangle eyes, triangle nose. And then I'm just going to draw a smile, a creepy smile. And then it looks a little weird right now, but we're just going to fill in the face, not the features that we drew. So fill in that face. You could give him a little tooth right there. Then I'm going to give it a little more rounded. I'm going to give it a little more of a pumpkin shape. And then I'll give it a little stem. Give it a little vine if you're really feeling it. And there we have our jack-o'-lantern. We could also draw, if you want to draw a black cat too. So all you have to do to draw a black cat, it's really simple. The cat has to be probably the same size as the jack-o'-lantern. So ready, I'm just going to make a nice tall oval. On top of that oval, I'm going to make a nice circle for the head. Then some ears coming up. And then all I do is I put like 2 little ovals on the bottom. So it looks like it's sitting. I'm going to fill it in. And then I'm also going to put a tail coming up. But you could take this time now and add any silhouettes that you like, but I just gave you a basic spooky landscape. You could add more bats, you could add a flying witch, get all crazy. I hope you guys had fun with me, and I'll see you soon.